Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Pay Attention podcast.
Welcome
I feel like
back
we never
to
say that.
Podcast. Yeah, we never have an intro. That
We
says
never
like,
say like welcome back.
That was so weird. we're so in sync. The synastry right here is just crazy.
How are we? Welcome back to episode 6.
6 weeks of us chatting shit.
I don't know how we do it.
I don't know.
I was just saying to Niv, like, we are number one best friends on Snapchat. Mm-hmm. Multiple voice notes
a day, and I swear they're not coming from me. Everybody knows I give a warning on my Instagram, no more voice notes.
I took that personally, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you were like, but you did cut them down the amount.
I did, because I took it personally. I was like, oh my god, she's indirectly storying me.
Yeah.
But like a running conversation all day, every day, talking about everything, but then we still have like new interesting things to talk about every week on this podcast.
I don't even know how, but we've got a really funny story to kick this week.
We do. We have a hilarious story to kick this off, and in true Pay Attention podcast fashion, this story that we're starting the week off with is about me.
Yeah.
I feel like I've thrown myself a lot more under the bus in this podcast, but I have been online chronically for over 5 years now.
Yeah,
so.
you have. But I'm going to throw myself under the bus a small bit as well this week. So, but there's nothing that I could...
To be fair, there was nothing I did. Like last week, I was like inspirational.
Yeah.
Like, this is my thoughts on solitary and love, and I was really good last week.
So Rebecca, let's kick it off. I received a FaceTime from Rebecca on Friday night, and I was like,
starting there?
Yeah, but I need to say that this is how this kicked off. Okay. I got an awful fright when she rang me because I thought something bad had happened, and it had. And Rebecca's going to tell you what had happened now.
I'm prefacing this whole story by saying I'm not telling you the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, because the person that is the other person other than me that is involved in this story has openly told me they watch the podcast.
Yes, they do. And they're going to hear this as well.
And they're going to...
Nice to meet you. I hope you're keeping well.
Okay. So, I have been talking to a man that I met on the internet for over a month at this point. And I have never met this man. And I have said on the podcast before, I'm not like you. Like, men will slide into your DMs, you'll entertain them a little bit. Whereas I am like very much so
like
not giving my energy to everyone.
No, and you really are very picky with who you decide to give your energy to, and like I have to give that to Rebecca.
Like, so you should feel blessed to get all the voice notes you do.
I do. I feel blessed, and especially when things like this happen because they're just pure entertainment.
So I don't talk to men on the internet that I've never met in my life often.
Never.
No, I'm very much so a meeting person, get the vibes. But anyway, this situation ended up happening. It just did. And it was going really well. Look, I was talking to this man for a month. He was like sending me good morning texts. The conversation was flowing. He was asking me about the moon and the universe and the planets. And like, I know he was love bombing me, but I believed him. Okay?
Look, we're all partial to a good love bomb.
Do you know what? Like we said on last week's episode, I am a words of affirmation girly. So if you give me a little love bombing...
She's had enough.
But one way to get me is to like love bomb me, and I'm trying to work on that. Maybe I wasn't being love bombed. Who knows? That leads us to the energy just kind of switched up last weekend.
Yeah.
The energy switched up, and then I sent a little drunken text, which was very much so. I think it was a good call on my part. And then on Monday, things took a little turn, and I was hungover, and I was at my godfather's surprise 60th birthday on Sunday.
Yeah.
So the drinks were flowing, and one thing about me is if there's something to celebrate, I'm celebrating.
Yeah, you are celebrating.
Like, I'm not going out every weekend, I'm not looking to go out, but if there's something like a family event or a friend event, I will be the first to be like, we are celebrating. So this takes me to Monday. I am hungover, and the conversation between me and this man gets a lot more serious than it needs to be for two people who have never met.
Can I pause here? So the energy kind of changed.
So there's an energy shift.
So I wake up from a text off Rebecca that says, you're going to kill me. And I said, you drunk text him, didn't you? It's like we're trying to school each other, like how to be like the other one's being a bit more like.
Niv's an avoidant. I'm anxious. She's trying to teach me to be more avoidant.
Yeah,
I'm trying to teach her to, show love to the world and have her heart open to get hurt. Anyway, I think, you know what, her method might be better at this point. Anyways, so I text her, you're going to kill me. So anyway, I sent a drunk text, and then the conversation got a lot more serious than it needed to be between two people who have never met. And basically, long story short, I am hungover and I'm not typing essays.
I don't like texting when I'm hungover.
No. And I'm not typing essays in general unless they're like fun, flirty, getting to know essays. I'm not doing the whole serious essays, especially with someone I've never met.
I just know where this is going, so I can't stop laughing.
So I send a voice note. And I'm going to be frank, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be so open and honest. I laid almost every single card in my personal deck on the table. Like, I was honest, I was vulnerable, I just said it how it is. I just said what I thought and what I felt.
Yeah.
And I thought I was being quite, open, honest communication, get it going. He opens it and has not replied since. So I don't know if
Let's just keep this in mind that like she would have sent the drunk text basically tomorrow last week. So this conversation happened on Monday. It's Saturday now.
Yeah.
That we're recording this podcast.
Yeah.
So this is the length of the time.
This has happened on Monday and then it is Saturday. So it is almost a week after the fact. And I'm not one also, I just want to preface as well by saying I'm not one to like expose what's going on in my life in the pod. Like if anyone starts dating me, I'm not going to expose you. I'm not going to share screenshots. Like that's not how I move. That's not what I do. This is purely for the story because it is hilarious. So I send the voice note. It goes unanswered. I don't know if he played it or not, but the voice note is saved in the chat because I saved it. On Thursday, I was with Shun. Shun is one of my very, very, very good best friends. And she was watching Love Island. I'm not really watching Love Island this season. So I was just kind of on my phone and Love Island was on the background. And I kind of get into a little bit of a fury moment. And I'm like, let me just listen to the voice note again and just imagine I'm that person listening back. And like, will they pick it up as like me being vulnerable cards in the deck? Or do they think I'm trying to manipulate them? Like, do they think I'm trying to... Like, I was like, I'm trying to be open here.
I feel like especially when you send something like that and you're hungover, you can't really like...
I can't just pretend I didn't say it.
Yeah, like, and I feel like you can be very vulnerable when you are hungover and sometimes it might come off as one thing when it's not actually that way.
So I'm with you. I'm playing the voice note to kind of and I get such fear because I'm like, this person either has not played this voice note or has listened to it and has just let me stew on my feelings for a week. Who does that to someone?
Yeah, I think that is quite mean. I can't lie.
That's so
if you're watching this, that actually was kind of mean. You could have just
so
texted back.
Mean.
Yeah, I know.
Unless he's still pondering, like, unless he's overwhelmed by my magnetism and vulnerability.
I'm such an avoidant, and even I wouldn't ignore somebody for that long. So I don't know. I think that's kind of mean. But anyway, that's not.
That's not what we're trying to say. We're not calling this person mean. Yeah. This person, everything could have done a 180, but I don't know what's happening. So mid voice note, I'm like, do you know what? Fuck this, and I. Dramatically, I am a bit of a drama queen, and like Shun probably was watching Love Island, not paying me attention. So I dramatically think that I'm locking my phone and throwing it across the couch.
I get a phone call from her after this happened. What did you do?
I did not lock my phone. I somehow, with the fear of God in me, ended up clicking his like friendship thing. So Joe on Snapchat. Also, all of this has been happening on Snapchat, which I don't know how I feel about personally.
I know. I feel like Snapchat, like at our growing age,
I do feel like it's having a revival though.
Yeah, it is, but I feel like for communication, maybe WhatsApp or Instagram or something is more me than like Snapchat. I don't really communicate by you on Snapchat, really, to be honest. Like, but this was on Snapchat, so when she screenshotted it, like, he got a notification that she screenshotted it.
He got 2 notifications. I don't know why Snapchat gave him 2 notifications. I only screenshot. Well, actually, I don't know what I screenshot because the phone was midair.
I feel like when you try like get out of a chat so quickly and you try lock your phone, sometimes
it was just chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Shun is like, oh my god, what happened? I'm like, oh no, because I have not. So it looks like I'm nudging him on MSN. Remember on MSN when you could nudge someone, being like, hey, respond to me.
You can do that on TikTok now.
Yeah, but
that.
like it looked like I was nudging. It looked like I was nudging him. Like,
it's so funny.
It looks like I was like, hey.
The funniest part of this whole thing.
So I'm dying. I think I'm dying. I'm on the couch. I'm like, oh my god. Shun's like, what happened? I'm like, he got a notification that I screenshot it. He is after opening it. Then I go into the chat. Then his little emoji is there,
he's like sitting in the chat,
like staring at my emoji. I'm like, is he waiting for me to text?
She's popping in and out of the chat. So her emoji is popping up and down, and he's just sitting in the chat being like, what the fuck? Like, this girl's just after screenshotting like our Snapchat thing.
So he thinks I'm after screenshotting our conversation because there is like a few things saved in there. Like nothing bad. It's just like little conversation. Yeah. It was actually very cute. Do you know what? It was cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I can't.
So then I ring Niv. And I'm like, do you know what? Because I asked Shun, I'm like, oh my god, Shun, what do I do? Like, how? Shun was like, you have to text this man. Like, you can't just like screenshot something and say nothing. Like, she was like, you have to like explain yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, he already has not responded to me. Like, why are we explaining to this man what's going on? So she was like, do you know what you do? You tell him that you have to make a new Snapchat.
Oh my god, yes. When I was on Facebook, I was like, Shun, what? Like, why would you say that?
So she's like, sorry, Shun, but this was the worst suggestion. Shun is very intelligent.
I feel like all of us were so shocked that you did that.
For 7 years, so I feel like.
But we were all so shocked that you did that. I think we couldn't even come up with like what to do.
I still have the fear. Anyway, so she's like, just tell him that you were screenshotting everyone's friendship profile so that you could save all your contacts for your new Snapchat so that you could re-add everyone.
I can't with that.
Okay, number one, was I going to commit to the bit and make a new Snapchat and then add him? What? Number two, I was so mean to Shun. I was like, Shun, that idea is awful.
Poor Shun was just trying to help him.
Shun was like, oh my god, I've never seen you be this mean. I was like, I'm so stressed. So I FaceTime Niamh and she's like, what's wrong? And I retell the story to her.
I thought I was going to get sick because when she FaceTimed me, I knew something was up. And I was like, no. So she's telling me the story. I thought like, oh my god, I'm going to get sick. Then she tells me what Shun said to do. And I was howling laughing on the phone. I was like, Shun, like what? And then I just advised her, like, the only thing that you can do, Rebecca, is just like delete all your social media and move away and never talk to anyone again because that is so embarrassing. But then I was like...
You were like, block him, delete him,
yeah,
everywhere.
I was like, just block him and delete him and it's done because, like, you know, you haven't talked to him now in a few days. So, like, maybe then this is a sign or something. But I'm also an avoidant. So that's my...
Yeah.
But then we decided to come up with the clever decision
to tell the truth.
Tell the truth, which is
great idea.
Always the best way, guys. This is what you should always do: is tell the truth. But at the time, I think all of us just weren't thinking correctly because we were just genuinely in shock that you did that.
It was honestly, number one, it made me feel 21 again, which is kind of cute, kind of fun, kind of fresh. Like I was like, I cannot believe I have done this.
I couldn't even believe they were communicating on Snapchat, to be honest. That was the thing that kind of...
I think it's kind of cute, because, like, I can take a cute selfie, and then he's like, oh, you look cute today. No?
Yeah, you can send that on Instagram as well, no?
Yeah, but, like...
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually did enjoy talk. I don't have an issue with... Well, I feel like maybe, like, if I had ended up meeting him, and then we would, like, escalate... Like, you're not going to give your phone number to somebody you don't... I sent him the text... I'd say it was about an hour later.
It was like an hour later, yeah.
He was definitely asleep. I was just like, I was having a bit of fear and re-listening to my voice note and accidentally screenshot the chat. Hope it didn't wake you.
Which is the truth. That's actually what happened.
God's honest truth and nothing but the truth. I was not screenshotting the chat to like put it. That's not how I move.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he opened that then yesterday and I still have heard nothing. So I don't know, is this man just trying to make me feel pain
Because
and suffering? Because it's not even like pain and suffering being like, oh my God, I'm not talking to him anymore. Like, yeah. Like, obviously, when you have a gut feeling and there's just a lot of synchronicities and universal things, it's hard to ignore. Now, obviously, as I already said, maybe he was love bombing me. Maybe I believed him. I don't know.
And do you know what's so funny? Like, we were just talking about in the last episode about love bombing, and I feel like that was just a small bit in tune with what was kind of going on. But look, if you want to believe in a bit of love bombing.
But you know what? Maybe everything he said was real and he's just really letting that voice note stew.
Maybe. But what did you do to deserve the silent treatment?
I don't know. I don't like the silent. See, I'm a communicator. I like knowing things. I like knowing what people are thinking.
Yeah.
But some people are very much so when something's stressing them out, they
go silent.
And like someone this is one of the thoughts I've had. Someone you have never met and you're chatting to. You don't owe anyone talking to someone every day. If you're having emotions and feelings about someone, you're allowed to like take a step back and see how you feel and come back to it.
Yeah.
I'm not that person though.
No, you're not.
See, I'm an impulsive person. Like, I will say how I feel in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think before I speak.
See, I do. I know. There's literally no filtration system on you at all. But what I will say is, like, I get that sometimes I'm just like, just give me a minute to like think. But then I like dealing with things head on, like conflict resolution as well. But sometimes I do need a bit of space, but I don't think you did anything to cause him to give you space.
The reason I'm telling this story actually is because men have never been at the centre of my life, and I don't make decisions based on what a man may or may not think. Yeah. And especially with my content online, like I vlog, I do this podcast, I have another podcast, I have my Instagram story. Yeah. If I was to think like, oh, I'm talking to this guy and if he sees this story, what's he going to think? Or if he sees me telling this story, what's he going to think? Yeah. I wouldn't have the online presence that I do, and I've never done that when I'm in relationships, so I'm not going to do it for like anyone, I get that 100%. It's so bad that I actually screenshot and he got a notification.
I know, that Snapchat's the devil for that,
and it's like, what, like, he doesn't like believe that story.
Oh yeah, he'll never believe that story, but it's so shit because sometimes the truth is actually madder than fiction, you know the way they say that? Like, sometimes the true story, you actually wouldn't believe it because you're like, that is so dumb, how would that be true? But it's actually the truth.
Yeah, I can't believe I did that. So that kind of circles us nicely into the topic of this week's episode, because that story was long, but I'm going to cut it down anyway.
It was so funny though.
It was honestly the highlight of, like, Shuna was like, I have been in a relationship for 7 years.
That was so good.
And she was like, this just really reminds me of what it's like out there.
Yeah, it's tough out here in the streets, I'll tell you, sister.
It is, and I think the thing that I've realised this week, because I've done a lot of reflection, whether you meet someone in person or you talk to them online or however you talk to them, you don't have a flow with everyone. Like, there's some people like that message you that you will, like, there's just no, it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, I don't text back people that it's like pulling teeth with,
And like that's the whole thing. Like, people are on these like, I'm not a dating apps girly.
See, this is what I said about having a favourite. Do you remember when I said, like, you can talk to a few, but you'll always have a favourite?
Yeah, but why don't people just take action on their favourite then? Because the whole world is made up of people
because that's
who
just not
want
the way the world works
want to love, but are afraid to be loved.
But that's like me, I'm the most romantic person ever, but I'm just realistic.
No. You're not realistic. You're a different level. The highest vibration in the world is love.
Yes.
Right? That's the highest, that's what everyone wants. As I said, solitary confinement is...
loneliest place away.
But people are like keeping their options open, keeping all their eggs in not all their eggs in one basket, which I get. Like, it's not good to throw your eggs into someone's basket. I think it puts a lot of pressure on things, whatever. But I think then it's very hard to decipher. Then people find someone that's their favourite or the one they like the most.
Yeah.
But they're terrified.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the person. Like, if I have a favourite, I'm not really talking to anyone else, I feel like. But then, like, if I feel like that favourite is going to have other options, I'm going to have other options.
But you're going to convince yourself your favourite is going to have other options anyway.
No, I feel like I can always tell. I actually can with them. I'm in this game too long, guys.
But Niamh, if you feel like you're becoming their favourite, that would also make you want to get other guys. So yeah.
I just feel like...
So if you feel like their feelings are
I've
reciprocated...
been quite good recently with one in particular. I've been very good. That's the best I've done in months or years. Even.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
But I have a friend who is in a certain situation. I'm not going to name the friend. I'm not going to name names.
But you told me there's a friend that's like me.
Yeah. So I have a friend who is also more of an avoidant attachment style. And I think as someone who leans more anxious, it's very interesting to see how avoidance brains work. Because it really makes me think, like, it's not about me. I'm not the problem.
It's genuinely never ever them. Like Rebecca, like I was saying to Rebecca.
Like, I couldn't be less the problem.
But even what I was saying to you yesterday about someone, like Rebecca was genuinely like trying to like divulge like why my brain was working like that and why I didn't want to like deal with something head on. And she's like, but are you suppressing feelings? I was like, no, genuinely, I actually don't have feelings for them. And she was like really clutching at straws. And I was like, you're really trying to uncover something that's not here. I amn't a nice person. Like, this is why I don't want to deal with it. But like, I'm making myself sound really bad. Like, when I'm in love, I'm so in love. Like, and I do give my all to one person when I do have a favourite, to be fair.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to find one.
But when you have a favourite, then you get scared of the fact you have a favourite. Anyway, so my friend, is on to this guy. She's gone on a few dates with him. Yeah. She's seeing him. She's texting him. She's talking to him. Mm-hmm. His dog died this week.
Oh my God. Sorry, I'm not laughing at the dog dying, but like... like, how do you handle a situation like that when that happens?
So think Marley and Me. Oh, like, Jesus. That level dog, right? So... I was talking to her.
See, this is the laughter. I laugh in uncomfortable situations. This is why I'm an avoidant. Like, I'd be so bad in this.
So I was talking to her last weekend and she was telling me all about him. And then she was like, I don't know if I like him though. And I was like, everything you've told me in the last 20 minutes indicates to me
you do like him.
That you do like him. This was pre-dog dying now. So Jesus, I was like... So then she kind of got comfortable with, do you know the way sometimes she was like, maybe I do like him, maybe I do like him. She basically had like pre-organized that maybe they go on a date this week, like Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. Mm-hmm. So she is now, I have said to her, and I think that's why it's good to have a friend who isn't the same attachment style as you, because someone else would be like, no, you don't like him. Like, why would you let yourself have feelings? God for fucking bit. Yeah. Anyway, so...
You hate us avoidance. You actually hate
us. Actually can't cope. Anyway, like, feel your feelings. Like, feel your feelings.
I do feel my feelings.
You don't.
I do sometimes.
Okay, anyway.
I swear to God, the second you see me in love, I'm like a fucking puppy and you're going to hate that version of me. So just enjoy the one you have now, girl, honestly.
So, she is getting used to the idea that maybe she likes this man. Mm-hmm. But she knows she likes this, but she's just not allowing herself to.
Yeah, I completely get whatever headspace she's in.
So that's what she's in.
Yeah.
So the dog's after dying.
Okay, how does she find out the dog's dying?
Yeah, so she doesn't hear from him.
Okay.
He hasn't responded to her last message, right?
Yeah.
So he hasn't responded to her last message, and she's like... And then she was like, and he's watched my story... And I was like, do you know what? This is the issue with 2023. We have way too much access to... Like, bring back the letters. Like,
yeah, bring the fucking letters
bring back. Actually, I'd love that.
Yeah, what, the letters?
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Like, bring back the letters.
No, but, like, imagine, say, let's just bring it back to your situation.
My God, imagine if I wrote a letter and I never got a letter back.
Imagine she wrote a letter and she never got one back. And she's like, just sending you another letter. You mustn't have gotten my letter before. Da-da-da. I haven't heard from you in 2 months now. Just sending another letter.
No, but you
loads of selfies in it, like, this is what I look like on this day or whatever. I would love the letters.
No, I would love... So anyway, I was like, we have way too much access to each other.
Can I just say, we might have to deal with that next year, because you know that there's going to be this thing in space that we might lose all Wi-Fi and everything.
Yeah.
And
so
we can
get people's addresses now.
Yeah, true.
Oh my God, yeah.
We'll be sending like a DVD disc of the podcast to your door every week.
Subscription.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, we have way too much access to each other. Like, I was playing devil's advocate. I was like, maybe he's stressed, maybe he's had a long day of work. And like, I also, I think sometimes you can tell if a guy is just not that into you.
Yeah,
that kind of way.
Literally, 100%.
And sometimes he's just not that into you. But like, this man was giving every indication that he was, and there was nothing to kind of
worry about.
But anyway, he hadn't responded to her message and he had seen her story and she was kind of like, oh my God, like, what's happening, whatever. And then, so I convinced her, I don't know how I did this, I convinced her on the Tuesday to text him. And just because I was like, listen, you haven't replied for a while before. Maybe he's playing this like game. You know, he's probably noticed. Because I was like, have you ever noticed he hasn't replied for 24 hours before? And she was like, well, I didn't think I liked him that much, so I didn't really care to check. But she was like, now that you've kind of opened the door that I think I like him, now she's like,
aware of it.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Whereas she's like, he probably hasn't responded in 2 days before, but I've never noticed.
Yeah.
This is when he drops that the family dog has died. So sad, right? So the week goes on.
Yeah.
Your man's more... Now, this is what I'm saying about Marley and me. The
Okay.
week goes on. Think Marley and me. Like, this
Yeah.
family is devastated by the death of the dog.
Yeah.
It's your man's birthday in the meantime. She texts him happy birthday. He texts back thank you, but she's not
Getting
chatting
much.
to him.
Yeah.
She's not getting much.
Yeah.
They didn't end up meeting up because obviously Marley
The
and me...
dog died.
Yeah, the dog died. So he texts then this amazing communicative message.
Okay.
And he was like, hi, hope what you're doing is going well today. I feel like I owe you a bit of an apology as I've dropped off the radar this week. Just had a lot of stuff going on with myself and at home and obviously the fucking dog. So wasn't completely myself. Hope you've been keeping well. If you're around after work tomorrow, can we meet up for a catch up? No worries if you're busy.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I love that.
So I goes, oh my God, love. And then in capital letters, I goes, we love a man who can communicate.
Yeah.
Ugh, why am I like, she's like, ugh, whatever. Like, she's now got,
She's gone the other way. That's what happens.
That's what, and that's why I was like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I told you my situation, had texted me that message, you were like, oh my God, amazing. You can just like restart now, like restart the energy, like just go back, chill.
No, I'd be the same. I'd be like, oh, and it wouldn't have even been his fault. But one thing I will say, and this is advice if there is any men listening, if you're dealing with someone, say like moi, and like, you know, you have to pull away for whatever reasons, and like maybe I'll get a bit turned off by it or whatever, like all you have to do is just push through, because we get over it after like a week or two.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to like attachment styles and love and dating is actually, I think that's my main point on dating, is like we don't need this much access to each other.
No, we
and the
don't.
amount of access we have is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's been online on LinkedIn, he's playing a song on Spotify. Not that I've ever done that, but
I don't know, you screenshotted a chat and Snapchat, so it wouldn't surprise me.
But like you can see if someone's seen your story, and then of course if you're interacting, Instagram puts it at the top. So like you can see they've seen your story and they were not responding. But like that's fine. Sometimes I don't want to respond to messages,
I don't care
but I
about
want
that.
to click into stories.
If they view my story, I don't really care. But the thing is, if they've left it like 8 hours, if
Yeah.
it's been like 2 or 3, I don't really care. But if it's like anything 3+, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just ignorant now.
But it's like sometimes it's not really though, because sometimes you just want to chill on your phone.
Yeah.
And you don't like.
But like you're saying,
I think,
if you're messaging someone you're supposed to like, and like they're viewing your story but they haven't replied to you in 8 hours, that is ignorant. Like 8 hours.
I know,
to
but
someone you're
I
supposed
just,
to like.
I know. I just.
Do you know how many? That's 8 hours of your waking day. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be asleep for the rest of it. Like.
And to be fair, and I think as well, sometimes in certain situations when people aren't on the same time zones.
Yeah, that
You
works
know?
amazing, I think, for me.
I like the whole time zone thing. But I
Yeah.
think my main point is anyway, what I've realised after my whole week and after my Snapchat story and after everything is like, at the end of the day, and I said this to you during the week, the next man that I start dating or I get into a
Is the last
relationship
one.
with. No.
That's my.
I'm marrying him.
For me, the next one is the last one. We're getting married. 100%.
No, mine is I want to be his dream girl.
Oh yeah, you said that. I want to be
Because-
his last girl, honestly. Like, I don't even care if I'm his dream
No, but
girl
if
or not.
if
He's
you're-
not marrying anyone or anything after me. If you're going out with me, this is it. This is for life.
Logan Paul's.
Is engaged. I saw this.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, I was so surprised. He was bawling. But they say when you find the one, you know straight away.
But that's what I mean. He knew straight away. He put it like, that's the energy we want in 2023.
Yeah, that is the energy we want. But I was so shocked with that because like he has been in a fair few relationships. Like,
But like the video and
Yeah.
the way he, like the way he has, this is why I love filming, the way he has footage from 12 hours after meeting her. And was like,
Yeah.
I went on a date with this girl, like, and it wasn't
he's
in
like,
a
"Oh,
love
my
bomby
girl."
way.
Yeah, he was just like, oh my girl.
It wasn't in a love bomby way,
Yeah.
which I really liked.
And they're not together long.
18 months, I think, or something.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I didn't even know he did another girlfriend. In my head, he's still going out with Josie Canseco.
I downloaded dating apps this week to try and distract myself from the fact that I did the screenshotting thing. Just to keep, you know, we
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
We do it. Now, I'm not a dating apps girly. I'm manifesting that I'm meeting whoever IRL, or like they slide into my DMs, or just not dating apps. I don't like swiping. I'm also very judgmental on these dating apps.
Yeah, so am I too.
Like someone who, say the guy that I was talking to from a month, if I saw his dating profile, I don't know would I
have swiped.
Because they can say like one weird thing. You're like, oh, why did like you're?
Oh my god,
it just makes me so judgmental.
Things, actually, I only sent this to one of the girls last year because I also downloaded Tinder for experimental.
Oh my god, I downloaded Tinder too.
Because I haven't been on it in like years. I've only done Hinge, and I sent this to one of the girls. And look at the fella who he sent this. I was like, Tinder's going swimmingly, and it was like basically, if you super like, you can send a swipe note now, which is a thing.
What the hell is a swipe note?
They like message a thing on it, but he sent me one, and he said, look at, first of all, I'm not going to show it to the camera, but look at him, and he goes, I like your tits, and then his name. And look at the photo. I'm standing there with my friends with a jacket on, like with a thing in the background, but we're not going to get into men because we talk about it every podcast, the way they sexualize and stuff. But anyway,
I'm so done with being over sexualized, to be honest. And
I'm not giving them any more airtime on this podcast because like we talk about that enough. Like
you find the one man that doesn't over sexualize you, and then he listens to your voice note and doesn't reply. Do you know what I mean?
I feel that. I've literally had a kidney for like the last kidney. I'm on antibiotics. I have a really bad kidney infection, but I mightn't, the way I'm going with them. I've had really bad one for like the last 3 months, but it's just like getting worse, not better. But anyway, so really bad dating stories. I have a few, but I think the funniest ones are probably the most entertaining ones I can tell you that are recent will probably be the ones I went on in Manchester, because I was dating in Manchester. Like
you had an era in Manchester.
I did have an era in Manchester. So like me and my friend Dara like moved over there, and straight away on the Hinge, like, but one thing I will say is you cannot background check when you're in another country. You don't know what that person's like before you go on the date, so you have to be really careful. Go to a public place, like give people your whereabouts. There's just such really funny stories from it. But I remember the first one, I think I'm gonna have to remove this guy's follower before I add my Instagram after I tell the story. But he was like one of the first few guys that I went on a date with when I was over there, because I think I'd gone on like one or two before this. But this guy, he told me, so there's this app actually called Thursday, so it's only active on a Thursday in Manchester, and we just downloaded it because you couldn't have it in Ireland but you could in the UK. So I had a UK number, and I was like, okay, well look, it'll be fun to like download it and see what it's like.
It's like a dating app. Yeah,
but it only works on Thursday. So, and they do events.
So if you're free on a Thursday,
you go on a date on a Thursday.
Fun!
Yeah, it's really cool. And so downloaded it and matched with this guy, and then he was like, "Oh, it's nearly 12. Like this is going to be deleted. Like this is my number, whatever." So I took his number.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I was like, really cool. And then we were talking. I asked him what he did. He told me he was an entrepreneur. So I was like, oh, that's really cool, because obviously, like, I'm an entrepreneur too, so I find that really interesting when other people are. So we would have had that in common, and what's it called? He was very secretive about his business and stuff.
Okay. So,
which I thought was really weird, but I feel like every date that we went on the first date, and in fairness, it was like really well planned out. Like he'd booked 3 different, like, so we went to drinks in one place, then he'd booked us into another place, and then we went somewhere else afterwards as well. So we went to 3, it was really, really planned out, and in fairness, like, all the dates we went on were good. But at one point I was like all the dates we're going on, like, we're genuinely drunk on all of them, so I don't know if I like this man. But then I convinced myself I was falling in love with him, because I didn't know what he was like.
You're just like me, for real.
Honestly, I did not know what he was like without the beer goggles on. And then
oh no,
I kind of said to him, like, I was kind of trying to pick a fight to get rid of him, the usual, and he's kind of like being really mature about it, whatever. So anyway, this guy had told me,
this is not how it works.
Yeah, so he told me he was like genuinely an entrepreneur, and we had like we went on a sober day. We went like golfing or something, and we went to like a shisha bar afterwards, which like is weird because I'd never been to a shisha bar, and it was just such a random part of Manchester. But like I remember being in the golf thing, and like I was like, we were neck and neck, And he, like, at one point, like, you know when you hit the ball but you don't really hit the ball, your arm just jerks and then a thing. He was like, no, that counts. And he was being so weird and like picky about the thing. And
This
then
man was a golfer.
Then by the end of it, right, no, this is worse.
Oh.
No, believe me, it's worse. And,
Like he was a golfer.
No, so then by the end of it, he like literally handed me the score sheet when he beat me by 1. I was like, remember that, all this. I was like, first of all, you're never seeing me again after the States there. So, and then we went to the food place, whatever, and that was grand. And then I literally ignored him then after that, I think, after that, whatever. But turns out he wasn't an entrepreneur, he was a club promoter. So I cried over a club promoter. At my grown age, a club promoter. Yeah, whatever. That's so sad. Whatever about laughing.
How is being a club promoter an entrepreneur? How did he?
Literally, it's not like. It's
he's
like,
working for the club.
You're working for the club. Like, it's, whatever. Anyway, so that was one thing. And then the second thing
and he wasn't like a ghost level. Like, he didn't own the club.
No, he didn't. Oh, no, he didn't own the club at all. I think he only got in there because his friend was
so
like...
is he the guy that girls text and were like, hey, we need a table?
We need a table. Could you imagine riding over a man like that?
His job is like to get
girls. So he's flirting with girls. He's actively flirting with girls to get them in the club. That's his job.
No.
And then there's...
I'm sorry to any club promoters out there, but no.
There's this other guy then I went on a date with.
I think if you're young, actually, being a club promoter is okay. Like,
he was 21. Like 28, 29.
No.
Yeah, I know. There was no saving him. He didn't want to be saved. And then we went on, and so I was dating a few other guys, which were other really funny ones. I went on a date with this one guy, but I was dating him for a small bit as well. Because like when I do date people, I date them for a while.
Yeah, see, we're different in that aspect.
But at the start, it was like we were going on like a few dates, and then we went to this one, and it was like in the middle of like the mid. So I'm a moody like. See you next Tuesday when it's hot outside. Like I'm not myself, like, so I hate the heat so much. And it was like 40 degrees in Manchester. This was when there was like the really, really bad like weather warnings. And like he wanted to go out for like dinner and drinks or something, so we went out and we ended up just only getting drinks. And like we were sitting there like having drinks, and honestly he was talking about how much he hated his job for the whole time, like genuinely for 2 hours, to the point where like I really had to pee, but I couldn't tell him because it would have been rude standing up and get out of it. And then instead of him moving on to like a
different subject,
he was talking so much he spat on me at one point.
No.
He spat on me at one point, and then like when he was doing it, he was like talking, he was like, I just spat on you, sorry, and kept talking.
Were you his therapist?
I was like, yeah, and then he went into God, he's an Andine, so I couldn't even like get up and like be like, sorry, I'm actually gonna piss my pants.
I actually need to go.
I really need to go to the toilet. So I just left that then, and then by the end of that just ended badly as well. And then this is my third and final one. I give on Manchester, so you can tell a few and then I can tell more if you want. But
I feel like you've a few.
There's this one guy, then I went on a date with him, and first of all, the English can't drink as well as Irish women.
No.
English men can't drink the way Irish women can. But I
don't have too much. Yeah.
No. I went on the date with this like really good looking guy, and he was stunning, like, to be fair, but like just not my type, because like those really 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 good looking men type is not my type at all.
Yeah.
Like
too
like prim primed proper.
Too like
not a like too Love Islandy.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
That's not my type.
That's not my type either.
And this guy went on a date with him, and I met him after he finished work, and we met outside this pub in the city centre, and the fella had like these like, I can't even say it makes me feel sick.
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm not judging anybody who has these. You know those Alexander McQueen shoes with the red bottoms? Maybe they were Louboutins. What's he doing wearing Louboutins anyway? But they had metal spikes on them.
And not in a... No.
Yeah, anyway. That I knew when I was on the date with him, I was like...
that was him gone then.
You're never hearing from me again, buddy. How about you?
But that's the thing, like, that's why I was saying you don't vibe with everyone. Like, you have to go through...
Yeah.
The trenches.
I also, when I was in Ireland once, was taken on a date to have a McFlurry in Artane McDonald's in Dublin.
Was that fun?
No. And he collected me tapping his finger off the wheel of his mom's car singing Little Mix.
Little?
Yeah. It's like, shout out to my ex when I hopped into the car. I was like, oh, get me out of here. Couldn't even make eye contact with me. Then there was another guy as well. I remember I went on a date with him before. I was in Galway, and God, lads, I have actually been on some great dates as well, I do have to say. But I like, we kind of worked together and we were friends, and like he asked me on a date and I was like, yeah, because like I thought he was handsome and we were friends anyway, so it was fine. And when I just finished my exam, so I was having drinks with my friends in College Bar, and he asked me to meet him, and I was just like, can we just put it off to another day? And he was like, no, meet today, whatever. So I was like, grand. So I was down Spanish Arch drinking, and then I walked up Shop Street to meet him, and I walked into the pub he was at, and he was sitting there with all his friends and people we worked with. So I just arrived to a drinking session with them. So I went to the toilet, and in the toilet...
And he just didn't let you know that this is what you were
No, I
into?
was just like, what the fuck? And I think he knew I was freaked, so I went to the toilet, and I texted one of the girls, I was like, save me. And then she came up and was like, oh, will you come and do my makeup for tonight? And I was like, sorry, I gotta go. He was like, don't do this, because he shooed them when I went to the toilet. So I went to go get help. I was like, SOS, save
Help.
me. And then when I came back, yeah, she was pretty much, I was like, sorry, gotta go, adios. He didn't talk to me for a while, and we were working together. It was pretty awkward, but then we became friends again. What about you? Any bad day?
Speaking of being saved on a date.
Yeah.
So when I was like, this is pre me ever even leaving Tralee. Like, this is when I was in my teens. Mm-hmm. So
have you gone on dates in Tralee?
Yeah.
I haven't. I've never gone on a date in Tralee.
This is my Tinder days, like when I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
And I match with this man, and we go for a drive to Banna.
Oh,
Banna Beach.
So that's the
classic.
date. Yeah.
So that's the date. So we're midday and we're chatting, and you know, I'm being beautiful, stunning, charming, amazing. And he turns to me and verbatim says, I really want to record your voice because it's so soothing.
Oh, well, it is soothing.
We're in a car
Does he
park.
actually record you?
Alone. No!
was
It
gonna
didn't even
say,
get to that point. So immediately I text my best friend at the time,
Yeah.
and I got her to call me and pretend her boyfriend had broken up with her so your man could drive me
Oh, I
home.
love that. Because I can't argue with that one.
I literally was like texting her being like, oh. He literally, it's just the way it happened. We were like in his car.
It was so intense.
I was talking about something, and he just didn't respond to whatever story
Yeah.
or whatever I was saying. And he was like, I'd love to, I know he could have said it in a nicer way,
Yeah.
but he was just like, I'd love
It
to
was
record your voice
creepy.
because it's so soothing.
Yeah.
No. Then, so I had this era when I was in Dublin. It was like
Yeah.
my single Dublin
Yeah.
era. And
Everything's an era with Rebecca.
everything's an era. And this is my single Dublin era.
Yeah.
And I am actively trying to get over a man, which made the single Dublin era a lot more feral.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
So I'm Tindering it up, hinging it up, dating app it up. Like, I'm like, just let me match with someone,
Yeah.
talk to, whatever. Dates, organising everything. So I had been talking to this man. He was French. And
you love a French man now, to be honest, Rebecca.
No, he was not like the other French
Oh,
man.
was he not?
No.
Oh.
So I don't know what came over me. None of the girls, I think I was literally just like, I need to be distracted. So I'm going to distract myself with this man.
Yeah.
All the girls were away. So we were living in a house, there was 4 of us, me
Yeah.
and 3 nurses. They were all away. And I think it's a good idea to invite this stranger that I had never met to my house.
Yeah, that is risky. But
To
I
my
suppose
house.
when you're young, you actually don't realise how
You actually
dangerous that
don't
is.
think about anything. So we order, he comes to my house and just immediately I'm like, no.
Oh, see, this is the thing.
I'm like,
if they come to
and he's coming to my house and like the vibes, I'm like, no.
oh my
Like,
God.
and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna, I think we were getting food and like watching a
Yeah.
movie or something.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chilling. And this was my idea. Anyway,
I know, isn't it terrible? I hate
this was actually my idea. So we ordered pizza from this place then. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is how much I can't give energy to people if I don't
Yeah.
want to. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't just, I was like, no, I have to, like, what's the escape plan here? So anyway, the food comes and he makes me pay for it, which just
That's happened to me so many times.
hard no. And
But
this
now,
was an expensive
I'm not saying they
pizza place.
expect me to pay for it, but I always end up just paying for it because I can't deal with like that awkwardness of, oh, I'll pay, no, I just pay
No,
for it.
this man didn't even offer. Like, this man was just like, oh, are you getting, like, oh.
Bum.
Anyway, so I'm there and I'm like, this man needs to get out of my house, like.
How'd you get them out of your house when they're
So
in there?
I had work the next day.
That's horrible. Like, that's my worst nightmare.
I was working in events the next day. So basically, we were working at the Ryder Cup or the golf thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, down in the K Club.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, down in the K Club.
Yeah, that all checks out. I'm like, that's where I was. So the girl who was collecting me was like collecting me really early the next morning. I only got the call like last minute, whatever. So I went out of the room on the phone. I came back to him. I was like, listen, I have to be up for work at like 5 a.m. Like, I need to go to bed. He got so angry.
Did he?
He was just like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, well, I have to go to bed. Like, so you have to leave. And he was like, are we not watching the movie? Are we not eating the pizza? I was like, no, we're not watching the movie. I have to go. And he was like, can I not stay? And like,
oh my God, ew,
yeah,
no, like, I hate when men don't respect
he
that.
He wasn't getting the hint. And I was like, I have to. And I literally had to like, I was like, I need you to leave. You have to leave. And he got so angry and like started speaking in French and like slammed the door.
Good. Away with you, freak.
So it was kind of terrifying because it could have ended really badly.
Yeah, that is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
That's a lesson now to any younger ones listening. Don't ever invite them over.
Why would I invite a man into my house when I've never met him?
And were you on your own?
There was no one there.
Yeah, that is so risky, lads. Don't ever do that ever.
That's so risky.
That was so risky, Rebecca.
He wouldn't leave my house. Oh my God, actually I have news from my week.
What happened?
Positive news.
Okay, go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
I am waitlisted, or I got a pre-sale code for Taylor Swift.
So delighted for her. She deserved that.
Last night, I actually nearly died.
I know, I'm delighted for you. I feel like you're going to get the tickets because I had a dream the day
Wednesday.
I had a dream the night before. Do you remember I told you about you getting cheap tickets?
So that was one thing that happened, and then the other thing, I hit 11,000 subscribers.
I know.
And you've got me this.
It's free, Nate. I don't even know.
I don't know, but it looks bougie.
I was like, what can I get some
it's all about celebrating. Like, I feel like because I've hit so many YouTube milestones in the last month, like crazy milestones.
Crazy milestones, yeah.
I feel like I haven't because I used to always celebrate like every 1,000.
Yeah.
So I need to like celebrate.
Yeah, I think you do.
And kind of have that. Oh, we got a new message. I need to have that like celebratory energy. So they were 2 really good things that actually happened to me this week. So, questions of the week.
Questions of the week.
So, are you travelling anywhere soon?
Yes.
Where are you off to?
I actually wish I wasn't
I
travelling as
remember.
much. But I'm going to Manchester and I am going
Where are you going to Manchester, Niv?
To get my nails done.
This girl flies, you called me bougie, and you fly to a whole different continent.
Yeah, and do you know what? I won't even take any shit from it, guys, because when I'm there, I'm visiting friends as well. So don't be like, oh my God, your carbon footprint. I'm visiting my friends too.
I kind of love that. It's like when I go to Dublin for like fucking acai, like.
Yeah. Literally the exact same. But yeah, I haven't had my nails done. This is what I said to my friend the last day is working hands, because I haven't had my nails done in like 2 months.
I wouldn't be able to look at myself.
I can't, but I'm literally nowhere but working, so it didn't really matter. And I'm going to Spain at the end of August for a wedding, which is really exciting, but I might squeeze in maybe 2 days over in Spain and work from home in Spain or something.
Make it a haul.
Like in August, start of August maybe, but maybe I shouldn't. But I think while it's still summertime, it's good to fit it in, you know? What about you?
No, I have absolutely zero travel plans.
Yeah.
My friends are in Spain at the moment, and they literally a few weeks ago they were like, "Oh, you should come." Why didn't I organise that? Why didn't I organise? Why didn't I actually? I could have very much been in Spain.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you said no to that. I love holidays during the summer.
It's just because the way we were out when they said it, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to Spain. You should come." And then I was like, "I don't know." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah," but then it wasn't said again until like closer to it, and I wasn't going to text being like, "Hey, still want me to come?" Even though I know,
should I book the flight?
I know it's people who like the offers open, like there weren't like it's not like they would have been like, "No, don't come." Like they wanted me to come, but I didn't grab the opportunity. They had a boat day yesterday.
I would get sick on a boat now, to be fair, but I love lying by the pool with a cocktail.
No, I'm such a boat girl. Like, take me on a boat to see the sunset.
I get sick, but if you've got a yacht, she would love to take part. But yeah, that's our travel plans.
Yeah, so mine are none, but you never know what can come up.
You really don't know.
You never know. Next one, the weirdest trend you've done.
I don't do trends because I'm not
But like, say trend, like, have you ever done something to your hair that like you regret, like got a fringe, other than cutting your hair when you were 6 years old, you know?
What is the weirdest trend that I've done?
Or like, did you do like a weird clothing?
Oh, I went through this phase where I tried to dress like Rita Ora, I think, or something. Or
something.
Rihanna, like, remember with all those like print t-shirts, and I'd wear Timberlands and stuff. I don't even want to actually get into that because I have PTSD after it. What about you?
Are we talking, what kind of trends are we talking?
Like, I'm talking like the hair like plaited on one side, all the hair hanging down over the other, curls. Like, I just wanted to be Rihanna and Rita Ora really badly at one point. What about you?
I think the weirdest trend I've taken part in, I don't know.
It's hard to think, isn't it?
It is hard. Like, I've had so many hair.
Yeah.
Like, I did the whole what was that purple? Remember the
Oh,
purpley-
the maroon thing that
No,
it wasn't. It was plum. Was it?
I did plum. That wasn't weird though. But at the time, I did plum hair.
That was wild, but it was cool. I loved when people did that. When
I did everything. I did
so
all
cool.
of the hair trends.
You're lucky you actually have hair.
I don't know how my hair is still going, to be honest.
Either, girl.
And then trend wise online, I did the 10,000 calorie challenge, which I guess is
that
weird.
was cool. That was cool though. You got loads of views on that.
It was a moment.
I was like,
people quote me back to me still from some people are obsessed with it. It's like their hangover video and they watch it like
I get out of my brain because I remember watching when I was hungover one day. I was so violently hungover I couldn't stop getting sick. We're talking like bass into the left side of my bed, like that's how sick I was. And I was like, I just need comforting videos, and I put on your videos and watch you do the 10,000 calorie one, and then I went on like a thing of watching loads of your videos afterwards.
It was 10, anyone who ever thinks they've eaten 10,000 calories, I promise you haven't. Do those days where you like,
oh, I've eaten like so much.
I've eaten so much, I've definitely done this. No, you haven't.
No,
you have not.
Did you feel shit for a while after? Did you?
I felt, and then like the sugar, like the next day, then I was craving a pizza. Like,
I know,
and I was like, oh my god! But it was such a fun day. Honestly, it was
imagine.
such a fun video to film.
It was like you were trying your best with so much of it, but I was like, oh my god, no, I don't know how.
I was doing so well until the end of the day, and then the McDonald's, and it just went downhill.
So hard.
I would love to do it again, just for like the views of it all, but I couldn't. I actually couldn't.
You felt so well after.
I couldn't. Who's your last Instagram search, Niamh?
Oh god. Oh, mine's Love Island. In the summer I turned pretty, my life's sad.
Did you watch the
So
summer?
I've watched the first 3 episodes that have been released. Have you seen it?
Oh no, see, I've never watched the first season, so I had to.
What?
Yeah, so I'm watching that now because I've seen
read
all
the
the
books.
promos with the Taylor Swift songs,
So
and that's what got me in.
I've read the books,
Okay,
right?
tell me.
So the books were written so long ago that they've changed and adapted a lot of it for the new thing. But I think it's actually better now. Like, even in season 2, I knew what happened, but the way it kind of happened, it's like...
was better.
It's kind of like, just for example, this isn't a spoiler, but like in the book it said like one of them like rang the house phone, and then the brother was like, why are you ringing the house phone? But in the thing, they rang her mobile directly, and they were talking about TikTok and stuff. So they've really altered it. But
they've altered it.
It's really,
for
really
the
good. I
times.
really enjoy it. So they're my last 2 searches. What about you?
Mine was my old Instagram account.
Oh yeah, do you still have that?
So it's still there. I'm not
With your
logged into it. But I was trying to look for someone's Instagram that was talking to back. I was trying to find their Instagram. Couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But I was going through my old account's followers to see.
That's so fair.
Were they there? So it was actually myself. The least narcissistic. My last Instagram search was me. Biggest regret. What's your biggest regret in life? Oh wow.
Oh, it's deep, but I won't get into that one. But
you're like, nope, next.
My biggest regret would be maybe not doing things I wanted to do sooner. Like, I think I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs, I think, until I hit like my mid-20s. Till after 25 I was very limiting towards myself. Yeah, so I think that was probably my biggest regret. Well, I have a bigger one, but it's too deep to get into.
Okay.
What's yours?
See, I don't necessarily believe in regrets.
Yeah.
Because I am such, you know me, I'm a
I
universe
know,
energy
yeah.
girly.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything
And
is
I think
happening for you and not to
I
you.
toy with that as well. I think that I don't really have a regret, but I think if I was to look back, what I would have done differently would be
well,
that.
it depends on the situation.
Of course,
Like
yeah, no,
some
for
things
sure,
are like
yeah.
very deep and strong, and like you can have those level regrets.
Yeah.
I don't. But I would say one of mine is actually kind of similar to yours. I had been trying to I had wanted to be on YouTube since I was probably about 16, since I discovered it.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I made so many videos that I just never put out there because I was judging. I was like, I don't know, like how I look. I don't like my face. I don't like the angle. I look this way. I look like judging. So I didn't properly start a YouTube channel until 2018 when I was like 23, 24?
Yeah.
24. So again, closer to the mid 20s. But like I wanted to start since I was like 17, 18.
Yeah, it's
and like if I did, obviously, but that's obviously
Everything
wasn't my
happens
path.
for a reason. Yeah,
Everything
of
happens for a
course,
reason.
yeah.
But I do think if I had to, but then again, the butterfly effect, like if you change one tiny thing,
Yeah.
like one tiny thing,
Yeah.
like
You
the
never
butterfly
know.
effect of that Snapchat thing happening.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like if I didn't go back in and
That's so
listen.
true. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Do you know what I mean? Everything
true. Everything happens for a reason.
is happening for you.
Yeah.
What do you dislike about yourself?
Honestly, and this is being so brutally honest, I sleep so much and people don't realize how much I sleep. And like my family and like anyone that
You're a
like
nap girl,
knows me
like.
intimately like knows that I sleep a lot. Like I'll just fall asleep. I once fell asleep on my friend while she was crying to me. But I fall asleep by accident. I don't realize I'm falling asleep. So that would probably be one thing that I just like.
But is that something you can control, like, or is that just?
Honestly, I
you
don't think
just
I
tired,
can.
like?
I think I'm always like, you talk about it now. I'm like, oh, but I don't think I can actually control it. No, I think I'm just a sleepy gal.
So that's what you dislike about yourself.
Yeah. What about you?
See, there is one thing that comes to mind, but I don't know. Do I want to?
Don't say it if you don't want any of the haters to know about it, because I know there is some people listening that don't even like us. So.
Do you know what?
No.
No, I think one thing I dislike about myself, which I'm actively trying to work on, is, do you know the way you're an avoidant in romantic relationships? I think I'm an avoidant in friendships.
Yeah, you said this to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of a situation I had.
Yeah.
And ever since then,
You find it really hard to trust people, being friends with them.
but like all my friends that I have, like the most people I'm really close, bar a small handful of people, most of my closest friends in my life are people I have known
Since you were younger.
since I was young.
And that kind of is like, well, I completely get it, but I kind of feel sad for you in that way, because some of my closest friends I've made it in my later life.
Yeah. Well, I have made close friends in my later life, but I'm wary.
You're very protective.
And I have good reason. I have without going into it too much, I had a best friend since I can't even not remember being friends with that person up until I was around age 21, 22. And then something happened that I could not
Forgive
even
that.
entertain the idea of forgiving, and I'm a Taurus, so like once you
Cross
if you go that far, you can hurt me, you can mess me around. I'm
flexible with yourself.
I'm flexible. I give people the benefit of the doubt, like it's not, but there are some lines
you can't
that
cross.
you cannot cross with me, and once you cross that line,
Yeah.
so that person crossed that line anyway, and they were like my best friend. So
And that's something
that leads me. That's why I dislike, because I have people I've met now that I want to get closer to, but it's kind of hard. Like I'll just like avoidant them.
I know.
I'll avoidant people like
We're
like
so
if
separate then to
like
that.
I think you're different because we have the podcast and stuff now, but
Yeah.
like if I had a friend that like I've met in the last year or two and like something was going wrong or something, like I would just like I would avoid
Withdraw.
it. I would just withdraw from the because I'm like, no, I'm not like,
I feel that's it.
So I'm very fussy with who I become, but I don't think I'm fussy. I'm just guarded
Yeah, that's fair.
in my emotions in friendships more so than in relationships,
And I'm
which
the
is
other way
fucked.
around then. I'm
Yeah.
like so loving then in my friendships, and then when it comes to relationships, I'm like, bye.
I'm loving in the friendships that
That you have.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like to entertain the idea of too many new ones is terrifying.
No.
Yeah, so that's great. Anyway, next question. Oh my god, the moon has just moved into Cancer. You have a Cancer moon.
It is.
More blankets, waterproof mascara. Yeah, I can't wait till Cancer season's over, honestly.
I wonder, is that
The
what my kidney-
emotions that have been in my body.
Yeah, I know.
Cancer season need to.
Okay, let's
There's
get
a
into
new
the
moon.
questions. My kidney's killing me.
There's also a new moon tomorrow.
I know, I need to do that new moon.
What are you doing
card
tomorrow,
thing.
girl?
Have you ever gone skinny dipping?
Yeah.
I had a feeling you had. Do you know, that's why I picked that question, because I had a feeling you had.
Why? What gives you that feeling?
Just because, honestly, Rebecca,
Are you
you
sexualizing me?
No, you are literally so feral, and I feel like people will look at you and be like, oh, she's a girly pop, da-da-da. You are feral. You're the most feral person I know that you would do something that wild.
Yeah, I have in
Thailand.
I don't know where I went. I think I've done it like multiple times.
Rebecca.
I think we did it in Santa Ponsa actually. First time.
That's so fair. I feel like loads of people do it in Santa Ponsa.
But I think I've done it a few times. I've never done it. I'd actually love to do it like at nighttime with like a boyfriend or something. I think that could be fun.
So romantic. Taylor Swift playing in the background, moonlight out.
Your head beneath the sun.
Oh.
Wishing I could write my name on you.
Okay, next one. What's your favourite song? Yours is definitely Taylor Swift one.
At the moment, no. Do you know who I've been listening to a lot this week now? Nessa Barrett.
I love her. Don't even get me started on her. She's my queen.
No, you're
obsessed with her.
joking.
I'm obsessed.
Hell is a teenage girl.
I've been obsessed with her literally since like 2020. I'd say since I started went on TikTok. I'm obsessed.
I
with
love her. Do you see her interview on Zach Sang?
Yeah, I love her. But she has had 2 on him now. I know everything about that girl. She's
Look at
playing
us.
Electric Picnic. Yeah, I'm so excited. Her, like, my favourite one of her most recent songs, I know the hell is a teenage girl and all that, but is American Jesus is the most recent one.
Yeah.
But I remember when she released I Hope You're Miserable Until You're Dead and Grave, when she released that one. Oh God.
And
I
Lie.
Hope I Die First as well, Lie as well. And Love Bombs After the War. I'll send you Love Bombs After the War. She's so fucking good. I
love her.
She's a
so
queen.
I've been listening to Nessa Barrett on repeat all day actually.
Yeah?
So I've been actually fixating on her. And I love her, and I want to go to EP, but also Billie Eilish's new song's good.
Oh yeah, that would probably be your favourite one now at the moment, wouldn't it be? Because you've been playing that non-stop. I feel like when that song came out, I was like, Rebecca's too emotional this week to even listen, like to deal with listening to that song.
I used to float, but now I fall. Oh!
My favourite songs, I've 2 of all time, is Too Late for You and M1 by DJ Seinfeld, and then number 2 is Hypnotized by Biggie Smalls.
Oh wait, is that like? Oh, I thought
What's
it was my
your
fave song right now.
No, you just said right now.
Right now. My fave song in the world. Do you know what? I really like Vienna by Billy Joel and something about.
You love the classics.
I love Vienna by Billy Joel, and I love I've been afraid of changing because I've
built my life around you. Dixie Chicks, because time
Dixie Chicks.
makes you. You know, they were my first concert I ever went to.
Children
Get older.
Your first concert was the Dixie Chicks? That's iconic.
Landslide.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's one.
Oh.
Dixie Chicks was my first concert. Do you want kids eventually?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think with the whole idea of children and when you're a woman, it's kind of projected onto you that
I agree.
This is your life path.
This is your path. You have
and
to have
I don't
kids,
think having kids should be a default. I think there's a
No.
lot of people in the world who should not be parents.
Oh,
and
you
a
can
lot
say
of
that
people
again.
who should have thought twice about, like, I think the default should be not having them. And if you want to have one, then
You need to think about it a lot.
but I do think the default should be not having kids.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't know, is it I haven't met the right person, I haven't been in the right situation.
Yeah.
But like, I've never had that like intense maternal urge. Now I know I would raise a great kid, but I don't know, is that like my ego, and I'd be like, oh my God, like I could fucking, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Don't have that like.
But I don't.
Growl for it, like.
And also it's such a responsibility.
Such a massive responsibility.
Like
yeah,
to
it
bring
is.
children into this world and then to choose who you have the child with.
Yeah.
Like you're responsible for picking their father.
Yeah, unless you get a sperm donor.
Yeah, that's true. But Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's hard, and I think it's a lot harder, and especially on women, there are so many risks. It's a big decision, and
is
I
a big
don't think
decision,
it's
yeah, taken.
something that should be taken lightly. And I wouldn't. Where did that go? Oh, it's here. I wouldn't. I don't think my life would not be complete
If you didn't have.
if I didn't have
Yeah,
children.
I get
I'd be
that.
an amazing auntie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I'd give such good.
I agree.
Yeah.
You'd be very like the drunk rich aunt, drink him away every 2 seconds.
I don't even drink that often. Like, it's so
I know,
funny.
but
We
you know,
actually don't even drink.
We don't like, but I just feel like I can picture that life for us, to be honest. But I really want to be a mom. But like,
You do.
it just depends if I'm blessed with it. But I do want to adopt a child as well as. Because I agree, there's a lot of parents out there that probably, you know, I'm not shitting on all parents, but like I just feel like some kids have a really hard start to life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I can change that for at least one of them, I want to. But like at the same time, like, you know, like if the thing works out and I'm able to have a child, amazing. Like I don't know, I just feel like I feel like I was born to be a mom.
Yeah, see,
I have that
but
maternity
that's what I mean. You have that, but also
Yeah.
people with cancer placements do.
Really? Oh yeah, I feel like I wonder
Like,
does
cancer
Kylie
is the
Jenner
mom.
have it? Because do you remember she?
Kris Jenner does. Kris Jenner has intense cancer placement, and like her
Remember
life
Kylie
is
Jenner
being a mom.
wanted to be a young mom as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It is like, that's what I mean. So I don't have that.
Yeah.
So why should I feel pressure?
To have one, yeah, no, 100%.
You know, like I should really, like, obviously if the time comes on, I meet someone and I'm like, oh my God, I really want to
Yeah.
have a family with you. And like, I
Yeah.
get to that, but I haven't got to that point in my life
Yes.
right now, and I would
Yeah.
not do that on my own.
100%, I agree. I agree, Queen.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for listening.
to our podcast. If you could follow us on Spotify and subscribe to us on YouTube.
And leave us a review.
And leave us a
and
lovely
leave it
review.
a comment.
And usually we have questions on Spotify, so give us
we've
your
a
little
link
take on it. And also, if you could go and follow our Instagram page, it's a bit feral, but
It
it's
is
fun. Because
fun
we
but
post
feral.
without like telling each other, so it's a surprise to us when there's stuff going on.
I love the Instagram stories.
I know, and sometimes it's like we need to say who posted this one because it's so funny. So it's always
Yeah,
Bex
I
and
was like
Niv.
mood today. Bex.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
please do that.
No, I'm loving
And
the pod.
thank you for listening to us.
Thank you. And any and all stories that were told in today's podcast were meant with the best intent.
Best intent.
We're not trying to hurt anyone or throw anyone under the bus.
Honestly, and anyone
Even
I told
if
about
those
the
people
dating
hurt
story,
us.
sorry, but you should have brought me on a better date.
Do you know
then.
what? One thing we're not going to do is lie. So
Yeah, I'm
like if
not gonna
someone
lie.
does something.
Do better.
Anyway, hasta la vista,
Hasta la vista.
bitches.
Bye.